Previously on the Midnight Channel.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
And when you get the voice acting from Margaret, you know that you've done it right. But her next request is Matador with, or Matador I think it's pronounced, with Mahama, Agi, Garu, Zio, I already have Bufu, I have 4 elements on one persona! Oh right, I'm an idiot. Yep, there's single shot.
Yosuke's hurt! Someone do something!
There we go! Okay, you get Tentarafu now. Which, actually can be kind of good if you get lucky against hands. But I also think that,
Wait, it didn't work!
they're completely immune to that. Okay then, through these doors is the boss. Instead, we'll be doing a rerun of Yukiko's dungeon. And now... welcome back to more of Persona 4 Golden, and yeah, you should probably see the before and after shot for my SP levels. I grinded a lot of cup cards in floor 1 of Yukiko's castle. And I also, while I was there, actually got the trophy for doing 50 all-out attacks, so yeah, unfortunately I wasn't recording at the time. But Sarasvati did learn Invigorate 2. Oh, okay, I happen to have online on, so now it's giving me a tutorial for this. So the reason why I've turned online on is that... can I actually see what people fused today? Okay, it looks like Ippon Datara, Archangel, Kusi, and Orobas are all pretty popular. Kinda surprised about Kusi because it's only level 10, but anyway... so I wanted to take this time, because this is a rerun episode, to talk about a few things in the Velvet Room. I'm going to do what Rescue Requests is. So this is a feature that Marie handles, and basically she's going to use the many worlds hypothesis to justify the fact that there are other people playing this game who have different versions of the main character. So this is actually a very minor feature overall, but I wanted to at least try and show it once. I don't know if there's any kind of cross-compatibility with the Steam version, there probably isn't. I know that some games do have that kind of compatibility. But anyway, what you can do here is, you can create a custom message that will be displayed whenever you rescue someone else. And... you get to pick from a lot of these phrases, and some of them are really good, like Army of Idiots, Detective, Glasses, Ted, Midnight Channel, Shadow, like a lot of general terms. Look at this, every day's great at your Juness. King Moron. And, this. Yeah. So, there's probably a lot of different creative things you can do with these. Unfortunately, I've looked online and the majority of them I can find are things like this. So, I'll be right back. I'll just make a message that I think seems funny. Oh, also, I am in your care. That's kind of a running joke in Shin Megami Tensei in general. I think it comes from a negotiation line. Okay, this is what I have right now. You can also choose a different avatar for your message, and some of these are spoilers, so I'm going to stop cycling through them, but you can also toggle the protagonist with or without glasses. Okay, so I need a Jester, an Aeon, and a Moon persona before I leave the dungeon today. And unfortunately, a lot of these combinations require my current good personas, which I should actually register now, because Sarasvati got a lot of cards during my grinding session. I feel like I'm going to need to spend a lot of money buying back stuff. But I do need Moon. And you also know Electricity. As much as I really, really like the sheep, they're both pretty similar, but you have Medea as well, which is also great. So resist physical, I want that for later, I also want that for later. And Dekaja isn't bad either, but I think I'm going to keep passing down Mahama. I don't normally use Andra for a lot of things, but I might end up using him here. For some reason, his design reminds me a little bit of Olkadan from Soul Calibur. And I can make Ame no Uzume out of these 3. I will definitely not be using Ame no Uzume in the boss fight because she's weak to electricity, but with that Invigorate 1 plus Invigorate 2, which do stack by the way, I could make a fairly decent SP bot persona for later, and I think I can still pass down my... Actually, yeah, I can still pass down quad elements, but nothing else good at the same time, which is kind of annoying. But I'm gonna need you for social links later anyway, so, Maragi, Mabufu, I guess I can have all of the Ma spells, and then I'll take Invigorate 2. I will probably need to buy back Sarasvati, though, because I kind of like to fuse her into more things. So, here is Ame no Uzume, who a lot of people know from, well, I know her from SNT Nocturne hard mode speedruns, where she's obtained early on because she has Trafuri, which is your only method of escaping battles. Oh, don't actually have enough experience for Invigorate 1 yet. Okay, I can make Matador out of Lilim, Andra, and Ukubark, and I think I did pass down Mahama onto you, so this will actually get me Matador with Mahama, but then I'll need to buy you back. Ah, the complicated processes of fusion. Could get both Hama and Mudo on you, though. Unfortunately, no experience bonus for this, because I haven't started the social link yet, but I guess Medea isn't bad? Hang on a minute, you have good agility. I can get resist physical onto you, and Sukunda. Need to remember to pass down that. And then I suppose it's either that or Medea, but I have Yukiko for Medea. I'm thinking of this persona for a certain optional fight that I have to do in this part. Maybe I'll actually go... Actually, Sukukaja is not terrible for that fight. So I am mostly doing this just for the social link, but this will also help me a little bit. And here is the Bane of Nocturne newbies. Okay, final thing that I need here is Jester. Jack Frost, Slime, I'm gonna have to buy back Andra again, aren't I? Because I don't want to immediately give up Matador. Angel, Upsaris, Andra, that's not that bad. Andra is getting fused away a lot, but I still want to keep him. But I do need Jester going forward, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and may as well spread Resist Physical onto as many things as I can. Auto Tarukaja is not a bad skill either. And there's Gur, so, its name is apparently supposed to be Gurulu. It's one of the few mistranslations from Nocturne that wasn't corrected in later games. And Growth 1's pretty good. So, personas with auto skills, they basically act as if you start with that buff active on yourself at the start of the battle for no cost in SP. But it does act like a normal buff, and so it will wear off after 3 turns. But they are great personas to lead with in boss fights, even if you don't plan on equipping them through the whole fight. Of course, it's even better if you have a piece of equipment that gives you an auto effect, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. I also think I should probably give my skill cards to Marie, just in case I have some that she doesn't have yet.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
And entering again, we get the next rank up. This fascinating dance that has doomed many people who played Nocturne. So, I guess right now I can kind of get into why I'm not really a big fan of Margaret. I find most of the time she's either blandly stoic or blatantly flirting with you. And I feel like she's more, in a way, flirting with the player than with the protagonist, and I don't know, I just don't really like it when characters are designed primarily around that. I'm not really a big fan of it. So, her next request, we definitely can't do yet. I've seen that show up in Fusion Search before. In fact, is it showing up now? No, it's Sun, so it's not showing up now. But, yeah, it's like level 31, I think, so we can't do that yet. Okay, we actually got quite a lot of new skill cards out of that. Some of these are also decent things to teach to your personas. I think I've got a few duplicates, so I might want to see if I can give any of those to the personas that I have on hand. There's one more persona that I really want before I leave the dungeon today, and that's Ghoul. And I want specifically a Shuffle Time Ghoul with... That's because I need him with the minimum possible skills for later on in the game, for, let's just say, something. So after all of that fusing, we're gonna head into Yukiko's castle, because we're gonna be hunting down some item drops from a few shadows here. But when you go back into the castle after completing it for the first time, in fact, I think this actually starts in May at the very earliest, but Teddy says there's a strong shadow in a room Yukiko is in. Now, usually when Teddy says that a shadow is strong, he's completely wrong. But in this case, he's actually making a massive understatement. So we also have the SOS feature here. I guess if we press it, I don't think we're actually in danger now, but I may as well try and press it. I think this is probably a little stupid cursor. And so we're sending out an SOS, just like the song. So yeah, it basically explained how that works. The first shadow that we need starts appearing on the 3rd floor, so I'll just see you when we're there. I'm guessing there's no cross-compatibility between the versions, and if that's the case, I'm probably never going to get my requests answered.
You can attack before them.
Because I highly doubt people are playing the Vita version anymore. There it is!
There's only one enemy. Go for a
So this thing drops the suspicious pole that we need, but while I'm here, I thought that I would talk a little bit about, well, we're gonna play a game called I Freak You Out by talking about the elemental affinities of the shadows in Yu-Gi-Oh's Castle in the vanilla PS2 version. So in the PS2 version, the trans twins were still weak to fire, but they nulled ice, elect, wind, light, and dark. And remember that you don't have Yukiko at the time, so the only way you have access to fire magic is like on, like Ukabark or something? Yeah. You'll see more of these on some of these later enemies, but, yep, we got a suspicious pole. The drops are pretty much guaranteed, so you only ever really need to fight each type of shadow once, except for the requests that require more than one of said item. So our next targets are all only on the 5th floor or later. The 5th floor or later. Yeah, so I'll see you when I'm up there. Okay, there's a Phantom Mage here. I believe that drops the... No, it actually doesn't. There's a different type of Navy enemy that drops something. But these are also important because I need 2 more golden cloths. That is a really cool persona call out. I should just say, I love the way that Johnny Young Bosch calls out all of the persona names in this game. You can really tell that he used to be a Power Ranger by the way that he yells out most of them. Okay, that's 1 more golden cloth. I should mention, since we don't actually need to fight the Burning Beetles for the sake of a side quest, in the original game, they repelled physical. Yeah, enemies that repel physical in the first dungeon. They were also, like, passively weak to light and dark, and also almighty, but still.
2 enemies! It's pretty weak, so I bet this'll be a cinch!
Okay, that must be a lower tier of description, then it's not strong at all, but I want my revenge. We don't actually need any of the... We don't actually need to fight these for a side quest, but I'm gonna destroy it anyway.
2 enemies down! Good answer!
Finally, payback! You have rolled your last natural 20. Ah, well, you'll die anyway.
That took forever!
Yes, to Yosuke, 1 turn is forever. Okay, that was apparently a level up. And that was a really well-timed level up. We probably would have got that after the optional boss anyway, but I really wanted that because holding 10 personas is really, really useful for a max social links run. I now don't have to worry about deleting arcanas that I may need later. Specifically Justice and Hierophant. I like keeping those around at all times. Yeah, I didn't actually mention this before, but now that we're seeing both cards, so the Justice Arcana raises Strength, and the Strength Arcana ironically raises Magic. But it makes sense when you know the meaning of the Strength Arcana. Oh, that gold chest there reminded me, if you haven't got a Gentleman's Tux yet, now is your time to farm it. We still, don't actually need it just yet, so it's fine if you don't get it this visit. But, oh, hi there, Heat Balance. I need you because you are the one that, yeah, you dropped the Ritz Wire. So, in the original game, the Heat Balance was only weak, quote-unquote, to Almighty, and it repelled Fire, Ice, Elec, and Wind. Yeah. That's an enemy that they put in the first dungeon in the original game.
Stands in Sensei's way.
Yep. Yeah, so that's the thing, because, this early in the game, you're supposed to be experimenting with elements, especially since, the scanning system in this game is trial and error. Have we actually seen Empress before? So, Empress is actually kind of interesting, because you grab this, and one of the cards is gone from your hand, which makes getting a sweep bonus easier, so usually it's not that bad, especially if you choose the good cards before you pick Empress, so that you don't lose any of those. Oh, I just realized that Supersonic is going to be pretty good for the boss of this. It's going to save me a lot of casts of Tsukukaja. I guess while I'm here I can mention, so you might notice that the music goes quiet whenever that line appears, but Teddy's line there isn't voiced. That leads people to believe those lines were supposed to be voiced, but they weren't for some reason. I did not know you could get Ghoul in Yukiko's castle. That is perfect, I'll take that. I needed you anyway. So I just want to reiterate, I wanted to get Ghoul out of Shuffle Time specifically. I did not want to fuse one myself, because I want Ghoul to have as few skills as possible for something that I'm going to do later. As you can see here, base level Ghoul only has 2 skills. Ah, there you are! We never saw this thing while we were exploring Yukiko's castle the first time. It's the Pajama Mage.
It's pretty weak, so I bet this'll be a cinch.
There's one of these in Kanji's Dungeon 2, I think. So, the Magical Magus is weak to fire, and, wait, no, that's from the original, not Golden. Magical Magus is, in this version, weak to light, and nulls fire and strong against wind. But in the original, it was weak to fire and drained ice. Yeah. So, yeah, that was basically how things went back in the original game. Fortunately, both those are weak to light, although Mahama's quite a big investment of SP. Oh, you're new too. In my first playthrough, Slime became so expensive from all of the... I had a feeling I'd get this now. That's for, I think, getting like 50 sweet bonus or something. But yeah, Slime became so expensive from all of the skills that this actually became my cheapest option for a Chie persona. But yes, that Magus had the demon statue. I still think the Phantom Mage should have had that, but oh well. So I have the demon statue, I have 2 things I need. I have the fitting board and then the angel statue, and the angel statue is a complete pain to get. I'll just say now, the enemy that drops that is Avenger Knight, and Avenger Knights are pretty rare. You know what, while I'm here, I'm going to show what happens if these things get a preemptive strike on you.
A rare monster! Beat the stuffing out of it! The enemy ran away! Ooh, that went well.
No, it didn't. So that's what happens if you let hands get a preemptive strike on you. They will use a hidden skill that's not on their skill sets to hit somebody's weakness, anyone in the party, and then they'll use their one more to run, and then all of the rest will also run. I admit it's actually kind of funny when it happens. Well, that's one more thing for my compendium. Oh yeah, and they dropped 2 more demon statues. So, one thing that really annoys me about these quest items is they don't sell for very much at all. And I can see why they did that, because otherwise you could just farm them and get tons of money easily because they're guaranteed drops, but I wish they were worth at least a little bit more than they are. They're worth like 10 yen each, which means there's not much point to getting more than one of each item. And you're almost guaranteed to get more than one of each item due to the way that enemy combinations tend to show up. Oh, have we got a Smart Bomb before? I think that's new. So Smart Bomb does 100 points of almighty damage to all enemies. It's generally not that useful against hands because, oh, you might be an Avenger Knight actually. Because hands have a tendency to, yeah, it's... Sometimes Red Shadows are Avenger Knights, and sometimes they're not, and this was one of those situations where they aren't.
Shadows, you get to go first.
So here's the Laughing Table, which we also need for its drop. And in the original, it nulled Physical, Fire, Ice, Elect, Light, and Dark, and it was weak to Wind, so at the very least, like, you had access to Yosuke's weakness for it, but still, it's why would you have something that nulls? Okay, I guess we can test if you still get item drops from this. I'm pretty sure you still do. Yeah, seeing Galactic Punt here reminds me that someone in the comments actually showed that... So remember when I said against the Avenger Knight earlier that the waste money effect of confusion is actually a skill that you can hack onto people? Well, you can also hack Galactic Punt as a usable skill, and if you do that and use it on an enemy that repels physical, Chie can end up Galactic Punting herself in the face, and that's pretty great. It either one-shots her or reduces her to 1 HP if she has a certain ability. Yep, we still got the fitting board. So now all we need is the Angel statue, which is only dropped by Avenger Knights, and they only show up on the 7th floor. Please be one. Yeah, I knew it.
It's our turn first. Oh, there! Now's your chance to run!
Okay, here's one and also a dice. Or die. Okay, so... It looks like Avenger Knight is one of the few enemies that was actually weaker in the original compared to Golden, because in this version of the game, it's weak to fire, but in the original it was weak to light. So that made it pretty easy to defeat.
You hit its weak spot.
These things can also be summoned by the King Shadows on this floor, but apparently only if there's at least 2 Kings in the fight.
Stands in Sensei's way.
Oh no. Wow. Okay then. Our increase in defense must mean a lot since then. I was expecting that to do at least in the 100th. Like, I thought we'd survive, but I didn't realize it would do that little damage. Okay, I have Suspicious Pole, Fitting Board, Ritz Wire, Demon Statue, and Angel Statue. That should be everything. Also, here are the skill cards that I have that aren't duplicates. Rakukasha's not bad. Anyway, though, now is the time to be scared a little bit, because, yeah. So, what is it with Yukiko's castle and having infamous bosses? The fight here is extremely infamous. My main strategy is going to be to spam Tsukukasha and Sukunda and just hope that it misses a lot. Because its main attack is very inaccurate but stupidly powerful. So Matador is going to be the one that I mainly use, but I will lead with Gur just for the Auto Tarakasha. You also really want Resist Physical on the protagonist going into this fight. And a lot of people put this one off until later. I think it's doable now, but it does depend quite a lot on luck. So we'll see how this goes. I hope we're very prepared for this unbearable bear of a battle. If there was a time to use that phrase, it's now.
I smell one enemy. You can do it.
So
It's
this...
a weak opponent. This'll be easy.
Teddy, you're once again underestimating something. This is the Contrarian King, and it's mostly dangerous because of one attack, Rampage. I like to think that one of the developers messed up and accidentally added an extra 0 to Rampage's power rating just for this enemy, because for some reason his Rampage is way stronger than it normally is.
There's one enemy. Smash it.
Okay, he got the first turn this time. That's not great. Yeah, he always starts by using Red Wall to trick you into thinking he's weak to fire, when he actually is, he actually drains fire. So, yeah. I'm going to start by Tsukukajering people. Chie will be my main source of damage for the fight, so I like to keep her buffed as much as I can.
Just one enemy left.
So I'm going to Tarukaja Chie. I don't know if you going later is better or worse. Wow, he's actually going last now. That's kind of an issue. Yukiko, because of the fire immunity, is kind of stuck in this fight, not doing much productive. But I really, really like to make sure that... And this time I forgot to equip my Auto Tarukaja persona. I just want this fight to be over. But yeah, debuffing his agility. You really want to keep his agility down. So, Hysterical Slap has a chance of inflicting Rage. What Rage does is it forces you to spam your basic attack, and it also drastically lowers your defense and your accuracy. So obviously you don't want drastically lowered defense against this guy, but even then, having drastically lowered... that was actually Persona 5 muscle memory with the triangle button, but yeah. Having drastically lowered... defense is not going to matter because his Rampage will still basically one-shot you anyway, so really your only hope is to count on it missing, which is why you need to make sure that he is debuffed at all times. And you can also go for Tsukikaja on allies. Yeah, the problem is that even with Resist Physical, Yu is in extreme danger in this fight most of the time. He just hits that hard. He's only level 17, but his strength is really, really high. And I've also heard that, the more you inflict Dizzy on him, the higher his chances are of using Rampage. I'm not totally sure about that, but it wouldn't surprise me. So in this fight, I feel like the best defense is just a good offense, and just to kill him before he kills you. And just... in case he goes for Rampage, I'm going to use one of these. Not that they really help, but I've got a lot of these, I may as well. Okay. Back to Matador, because Matador has higher agility, and that means less accuracy for him. He can sometimes crit you and get 1-mores, and if he does, he likes to use his 1-mores to debuff your defense. Okay, yeah, Kill Rush is still bad, because if it hits 3 times, it's still basically a one-shot, even if, yeah, like, even due to the fact that it's not Rampage. And we're already starting to run out of Tsukikaja, which is not good. Do I attack while you're still debuffed, or do I buff myself? I think I'll just go for a buff on yourself. Now might be a good time to talk about how buffs and debuffs work in Golden, because they actually change compared to the original game. In the original, if you used a buff or a debuff on something that already had that buff or debuff active, it would just miss. But in Golden, it extends the timer. So using Sukuunda here... yeah, it says the decrease lasts longer. And there's Rampage.
Yuki-chan's in danger! Help! Someone!
And, yeah, that was, Rampage. I think I'm gonna attempt to do some damage with Assault Dive. No crit though.
Yuki-chan's health is too low.
I have a lot of revival beads due to farming cup cards on the first floor of this place, but even then... do I have anything with Medea? I do, but I would probably rather just use a bead on you. Because he needs to have as much health as possible. Okay, no second Rampage.
Oh, Shii-chan, that was beautiful.
Which is decent.
That looked like it.
Okay, a crit, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and use this to heal. I only have one assault signal, but I might as well use that later on in this fight, just because... Yeah, here's what I like to say in this fight. You are never guaranteed to be fully safe until he's dead. Like, you can get him down to 1 health, and he can still rampage you to death, and there isn't really that much you can do about it, so... Really, the best defense is a good offense, I find. And also keeping his agility debuffed. Even then, I still feel like his Rampage's accuracy is way too high most of the time. I'm gonna get your defense back down, because, again, the best defense isn't good offense. The sooner this guy's HP hits 0, the sooner that we can, not be dead.
It got back up.
Okay, yeah, whenever I see him walking, it's usually a good sign.
Yuki-chan's health is too low.
Because it means that, that he's not using Rampage. If he uses Rampage, he'll stay in the center. Okay, you're debuffed. Is there anybody... I should probably just use Sufukaja. It's really tempting to go for Sonic Punch, but I just really need to make sure that everyone is agility buffed right now.
I am thou.
And this is not great.
Just one enemy left.
I've lost track of when his agility debuff is going to go away, so I might as well Sukundi him again, just to be perfectly safe. This fight makes me very paranoid. Okay. Yeah, Hysterical Slap does not have the best accuracy in the world, which is good for us. It can inflict Rage, though. And what Rage does is it forces you to spam your basic attack, and also drastically lowers your defense and accuracy. Now, there's a chance that I have already said that in this take of the fight, and that's because I've completely lost track of time because I've been here so long. Yeah, I still can't believe that on my practice run, I actually did beat this guy on my first try. And I don't think he ever used Rampage either, so that was, yeah. Yukiko is not buffed, but I would also like to do some damage. Swift Strike is not guaranteed 2 hits. And Kill Rush is annoying because it can still one-shot you if it hits 3 times. I guess Yukiko can use a healing item on herself. I'd probably rather spend this turn getting some damage in. No crit. He's almost down to half. I don't want to waste all of my beads. How much is a Life Stone going to heal you for? Less than 100, so medicine is actually better than it at this point in the game, which is a bit annoying. I would have used a medicine if I'd known that, but yeah. 1 hit, and defense is back, which means your evasion's gonna... And that is why I don't like Kill Rush. Reminds me a lot of Shadow Kamoshida's Volleyball Assault, which is also kind of annoyingly luck-based. Because if he double targets Morgana or Arn and it hits 3 times both times, they basically just die, and there isn't a lot you can do about it. At least on hard mode, which is the only difficulty that I've played that fight on. Yeah, I have tangents that I can talk about that fight, but I don't want to. Oh no. Yeah, the good news is he usually uses his 1 more to do this rather than Rampage. And this is the point where the fight usually starts going off the rails. So, I've got to hope that I can put it back on the rails somehow. I think I'll put his defense down again.
One enemy! Fight! 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 Persona!
I should probably be using Tsukikaja on people. Okay, no Rampage.
Are you okay, Sensei?
Yeah, even
Someone
with the
heal him!
physical resistance, that still hits crazily hard. And we're all still defense debuffed, which is a problem. I think I do have the Purifying Salt, though, but I need to use Yukiko's turn to heal. This is annoying because the more you have to waste your turns using items, the more, like, the less damage you're doing to him. But I'm pretty sure I do have, something to cure this. I also have that as a last resort. I only have one Purifying Salt, though. Might as well do it, though. I do have, Dekaja on you.
Sensei, mind your health, okay?
But I would rather use his turn for other things.
Just one enemy left.
Okay, he's going next, so that's fine. Which I think means that I might have to put up the, Okay, I'm using one of these, just to be sure. I'll probably have to use my Supersonic later as well. I must have accidentally secunded him instead of rakunded him. Because, yeah, this fight tends to make my brain scrambled. Okay, no Rampage, which is fine.
That was beautiful.
She's not buffed. I think I'll buff her, yeah. Okay, our health is looking a little higher. It looks like we may be putting this fight back on the rails, which means I can start Tsukikaja-ing people again. But of course, the moment that he decides to use Rampage again, the fight will go off the rails immediately. Since you just buffed yourself, I think I'll buff your evasion. Okay, defense is down, that's still down. Switch to Matador for the better agility, and, do I Swift Strike or do I Tsukikaja someone? I kind of want to Tsukikaja someone, and it might actually have to be myself. People say that you're supposed to play this fight very defensively. Okay, that wasn't good, but at least it didn't crit or rage. In fact, I shouldn't be saying this, but I've never actually seen this guy get rage with Hysterical Slap before. There's really not much reason for Yukiko not to be going for, like, Medea and stuff like that every turn. And right now, okay, yeah, Yosuke is not buffed. Yeah, I've got to not get greedy here. I have to keep these buffs up. King's turn is next. This is the King's game that you don't want to play. Okay, no Rampage. And that Tsukikaja was a good call. Yeah, I feel like his Hysterical Slap has really bad accuracy. That, or I just like to keep his hit rate debuff, and I'm pretty sure his debuff is going to wear off soon. I guess I can Medicine Chie here. And we're all buffed, I think, so you can afford to Sonic Punch. I kind of don't want a critical here. Okay, didn't get it. And I'm gonna Sukunda you, just in case that was, I was about to say destined to wear off. That's a dramatic way to say it, but you know what I mean. Defenses. Ah, there's Rampage!
Yuki-chan's hurt! Hurry and heal her!
Like, did you see that? Like, 350? Ugh. Well, at least his accuracy is down. The problem is, most of us are now down, and that's where things rapidly go off the rails. Especially now that my hit rate evasion's reverted. Let's... Revival Bead. Don't Rampage again, please. Good.
Yosuke's in danger! He needs help!
Still went down. I kind of want Chie to hit him again. And you're going to Revival Bead. I really, really wish I had a bead chain right about now, but I don't think that I do. Is that gonna... I don't think that's gonna wear off soon. But just to be... And I'm running out of SP too. Eesh, this is not good. He's still actually kind of not that close to dying either. Okay, just a hysterical slap. Nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to be afraid of. Let's just keep piling on the damage. And you will continue to Tsukukaja people.
Here goes. Persona.
You know what? I want a Medea though. I really want a Medea now. But this could be a risk. This is a little bit of a waste since somebody's already Tsukukaja'd. But it will get the rest of us immediately Tsukukaja'd. Which is good. Because I think I lost track of when I last Sukunded you. I don't want to take any chances. Well, it didn't get Rampage.
Oh, Yuki-chan, that was lovely. Go!
So right now, we're gonna just pile on that damage. Oh, great, he's in his slouching animation, which is kind of bad because I think he's more likely to use Rampage in this state. I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Damn, it's not going down.
No crit, okay.
I am thou.
Which is probably a good thing, if the rumors are true. Okay, King's going next, and that means... try and switch strike. I knew it only hit once. Okay, that's not good. That's really, really not good. However, Yukiko can cure that. Okay. I have an idea. I have an idea. This might seem weird, but I'm going to do this. Because I need Yukiko's turn to cure the rage.
Here goes.
Yosuke can do this.
Someone else's turn.
No crit. Okay. Yeah, that dispels rage.
I am thou.
And he's going next. Okay, I have some personas that have, Medea. Who has the best endurance? You do, I think, of all the ones I've got with Medea, which is like just 2 of them, I think. I am getting extremely nervous about this because, like, I've got this guy to this low health before, and I've still failed, so...
Persona.
We have to just hold out a little longer. And I don't want to say something. Okay, he didn't rampage. I was about to say, just as long as he doesn't rampage. And he didn't rampage. That is our chance.
Yikes, it's tough.
I don't know if he will die this turn.
Here goes.
It's possible, but no, I don't think he will. Yeah. And there goes evasion. That's really, really bad, actually. Well, you kind of... How much will that leave you with?
I can't do
Oh yeah, that's more than I expected. And that's low, but I doubt it's low enough for me to finish off. Probably not low enough for me to finish off, and if he gets... I don't even have enough SP to Sukunde him again. This is not a good situation, but... So I know that he nulls wind. I know that he obviously is immune to fire. Ice and Elect still work though. So if I use an Ice Cube on him, I'm gambling on this. If he has 50 or less, I win. Please have 50 or less. No, he didn't. But he did not go for Rampage.
Cool, Yosuke.
So I think I have this. I think I have this. There we go. That. Raw recording time right now, 45 minutes. And yeah, that increases your courage. But there's another reward for this too. If we check the throne, we get Suzaku Feather. I like to think this is one of the feathers from Shadow Yukiko herself, which fell all over the place in the anime. This thing for Yukiko is amazing. Plus 50 SP. I like to keep this on her for the rest of the whole game, because Yukiko's physical attack pretty much means nothing, so you might as well equip a weapon with a passive effect that raises magic or SP, and yeah, usually that stays on her for most of the game. Oh, that was something. Yeah, look how low Yu's SP is now. But it's over. It's actually over. And now I need to fight Shadow Kanji, who is also considered a very infamous boss in this game. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Oh boy. So, I hope you've enjoyed. And, I may as well use my last one of these. And, there's gonna be fail channel. There's gonna be a very, very big fail channel this time. And I will see you all next time when we finally rescue Kanji. We aren't gonna let our stars die, but we will save all the hilarious footage from their deaths for our new segment. We call it the Midnight Fail Channel. I've also heard that getting crits or inflicting dizzy on this guy increases his chances of using Rampage.
Critical. Should we show him who's boss?
Well, I suppose we'll find out now.
It got back up. Hurry and beat it.
I am getting absurdly lucky with Rampage and also counter. There it is!
Yuki-chan's hurt. Hurry and heal her.
Okay, that was better than it could have been, but you can see why everyone hates that attack now. I would... Oh, nice, okay. That's a pretty appreciated critical.
Should we show him who's boss? If you say so.
No, I'm gonna take this turn to... Let's see, should I Sukukaja someone? Maybe? I think I'll Sukukaja... He's going next. I could try and dizzy him, which is what I'll try and do. Did not get it. That gamble did not pay off, and he's... Oh, that's bad!
Get up, Sensei! Someone help!
And that's basically this fight in a nutshell. It doesn't matter how well you're doing, if he spams Rampage, you lose.
It's death!
Here's our chance. We're not doing it. Aww.
I think this will actually do more.
Yikes, it's tough.
Yeah, way more. Okay, so probably better to hit him while he's down than go for all-out attacks. I've been playing Persona 5 Royal, and I just beat Kamoshida, and... But yeah, basically, like, there's a point in that fight where he summons a cognitive ally, and in my Fire Emblem pacifist mentality, I was really trying to see if I could beat him without,
Mind your health, okay?
killing them. And it's definitely possible, but apparently you need to deal a total of about 300 damage to him, and that's a very tall order early in the game, especially since you're forced to spend your turn before he summons that ally guarding, because he does like a super move the turn before that happens. But yeah, like what I was saying in that fight, you basically have to plan out your Rakunda and Tarukaja for a few turns in advance to make sure that you have them while he's in that phase. And I think that way it's relatively easy to do the amount of damage, but even then it's still kind of a pain. So unfortunately I did have to kill that ally, and I felt really bad about that, but it was the only way I could win that fight. Like, I restarted the fight like 5 times attempting that, but in the end I just had to do it, which is a shame. Oh, he's so close to being down, but like in this fight, I know that in this fight, the only time you can be absolutely sure you're safe is when he's dead.
I can't defeat
I was trying to use Yukiko's turn to make you dizzy.
It got back
Oh,
up!
Rampage, please!
No, Sensei! Sensei, get up!
What I was saying, yeah,